Hello, good evening, welcome back to West Ham Network, Old School Hammers, and we're joined tonight by special guest Barney Wren. Barney, good evening, mate, how are you?
Not bad. Hello, Cieran.
G'day, Barney. How are you, brother?
I've been better. I miss Matthew.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, we
mate.
all miss Matthew, mate. We all miss him. Anyway.
You a bit chilly there, Barney?
Just a little, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let's get the bloody weather reports out of the way.
All right, yeah.
Hang on, wait a minute, Cieran. Wait your turn, mate. We've got guests. Come on, Barney, tell us how the weather's been in Canada, mate.
It's cold. And it doesn't know whether to snow or not, but it's raining as well. Sleet, snow, you know.
Yeah. Right, come on in, let's have it then.
Right, then, mate. Well, there's two parts to this. Today's beautiful, mate. We're 26 degrees at the moment. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's going to get to 31 today. Beautiful day, real sunny. But I'm not joking. I know I'll go on about I love the weather here, but on Monday, geezer, it was disgusting. It was 38 degrees and it was about 100% humidity. It was unbearable. It was horrible. It weren't nice, as much as we love it, but that was, yeah.
I feel
that was
sorry for you.
That's kind of desert temperatures, isn't it?
Hmm?
That's sort of like desert.
Yeah, it is, geezer. Well, out in the desert, it was about 44 degrees here. Really bad. So you're talking over, your old money, Fahrenheit, you're talking over 100, well, being 38 here, well over 100. Jesus Christ, it's not nice. That's the other side of the tropical weather when it gets to that extreme. But anyway.
It must be pretty uncomfortable. You poor old sod, you.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
I know you are, Barney. Yeah. I'm feeling sorry to you as well, Barney. When you start getting down to -10s, and we've seen it many times with Pete walking around the streets when it's 2 foot of snow and -10. It's not, no. Wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, he wore thermal underwear all the time.
I bet. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I bloody would and all. Just say good evening to some people in the chat quickly. Toha, good evening to you, sir. Well played, Damien. I'm not quite sure what that was about. Maltese Hammer, good evening to you. Usual suspects, always in the house. Thank you for joining us. Robert Singleton, good evening. Good evening. Hammers Mikey is in the house. Good evening to you, sir.
Mikey.
Mark Watson, and good evening to you, Mark Pendleton. We also have the legend that is James Bong. Hey, you naughty people. Hello, James. How are you, Mr. Bong? Seisman. Good morning, all from Thailand.
Sweet.
Good morning to you, and please let us know what the weather's like there, and where you are in the world. Just tell us what your weather's like.
Cieran,
yeah.
What are you using? Are you using your computer?
No, mate, just a phone.
Just a phone?
Yeah. That's all. That's all I got, mate.
I'm trying to read some of those people that have come in, and it's a bit small.
Yes, I struggle a little bit, mate, but I see it. Some of them I don't.
I'll read out most of the ones that go on the screen anyway. So,
okay.
Hammers Mikey, he says Tim's cooking, unlike Moyes, who is boiling our effing brains. Sheriff, evening, guys. Hope you're all well. Thank you, sir. Hope you're well too. And Alan Dunn, morning, Budgie, Cieran, and a fine hello to Barney. Looking at 41 degrees here in.
There you go. Yeah, I think Alan's a little bit more out west down in New South Wales, and I think they're getting the high temperatures, man. Fucking terrible.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Not good. I'm not sure what's worse, -10 or +40.
No, it's one of them, Jamesy. Yeah. It's both. Barney's in that extreme of cold, and we're in that extreme of heat. It's somewhere in the middle you'd like.
Yeah.
What's
Good
your
evening
weather
to you,
like
Chris.
there, Budgie? What's your weather like?
Oh, it's up and down. You know, it can be dry and bright, and then within 20 minutes you can be like, you know, raining. It's cold. It's been cold here a lot.
Fucking hell, the West Ham Weather Channel, Barney. We've just created it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, look, 94 this week in near record for Thailand. Wow. Cookie Hammer's in the house. Evening, gents, he says. Damien, what's Tim got cooking? Oh, mate, we'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. Happy Hammerette, always in the house. Hello, Happy.
Nice.
Oi, oi, Hammerloys. Early door football TV. Good evening to you, Tony. A good show earlier, mate. I was watching that. I was a bit busy, but I was watching all the time. Big up Budgie and the panel. Who else we got? Simon. It's pronounced Amon. Oh, Amon. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. People chatting. Happy says, Barney, so beautiful to see you again.
Yeah, good.
Evening, Budgie, Smuggler, FF, and Chat 2. Right, okay, right. Let's talk about some of the transfer stuff that Tim's got cooking. Okay, so it's the common belief among all the ITKs and a few of the channels and stuff that Calvin Phillips will be announced tomorrow. Now, there's no 100% guarantee, but I think that
It's done.
I think the medical's done and gone well, because that was today. I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think, and yeah, and I think all the paperwork's been done, and there is well, there's a good chance that Ben Rama's going to go. There's a good chance that Fornals might go to somewhere in Spain. I can't remember the name of the team now.
Yeah.
And
we've got to keep Amarez though.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's staying, Barney. He's staying.
yeah, I mean, Calvin Phillips will come into work alongside Alvarez, I believe. And
Yeah,
they will push Socek or JWP further in front of them two. So effectively, it'll be like a 4-2-1-3-1 kind of thing. That's unless he shifts it about and does a 4-3-3 or something. We just don't know, do we? But
No.
but yeah, that's what.
I think Alvarez is one of our best players at the moment.
No,
Yeah, he's really good, Barney.
Yeah,
really good.
It'll be 3 up front, not 3 and then 1. Yeah, sorry, I was putting too many players on the pitch. Right, okay. Yeah, so how do we feel about Phillips side by side with Alvarez? I think that would be quite a formidable midfield with, you know, like Socek, who isn't particularly great in midfield, but he's pretty good at pushing forward with the play.
Oh yeah.
You know, so and he's a good target man to have up there, especially if you're playing with, say, Bowen, Paqueta, and Kudus. It's good to have a big target man up there with them as well that can bring the ball down for them, so that they can do their magic, if you like. So and to be fair, you know, people are saying that he's not going to drop Socek. Chances are he won't. Maybe it'll be JWP that gives way for him. But either way, if he plays JWP in front of those two, equally, I mean, JWP is a very forward-thinking player. When he's played,
he's brilliant.
When he's played in the right position, he's very, very clever at his distribution.
Yeah,
and scoring goals as well. Let's not forget at Southampton, he was scoring goals like they, you know, it was a bit of bread and butter to him, you know, just scoring goals. Admittedly, a lot of them were from, you know, dead ball situations, but he was still banging them in. And that's where we need to play him effectively in an 8 role. That's where he needs to be played. So we've been linked with a chap called Ibrahim Osman. Do you know anything about him, guys?
Yeah, I know a little bit about him, about as much as everyone else. Young player, left winger, rapid.
Yes,
he's pretty rapid, but he is playing up in the Danish league or whatever. Yeah. He's pretty low standard. Yeah, but he is fast. He's got. If you looked at him, you'd look like he's a Kudus, a younger version of a Kudus. That's what he looks like. Well, but he looks rapid. I think he's more for the future, Budge. I don't think he's oven ready. I don't think he's coming in line into the game.
He's not going to be a first team signing, is he?
What I do love about it, though, is this is what I've been saying from the minute we signed Stuyton. I want to see these players that we don't know, that are up and coming, that costing us, not 40 millions, it's costing us 10 to 15 millions. And then we develop them to be great players and we get a good few years out of them. And then we sell them on probably for a big profit. This is right up my street, this. Kudos, Paquetá, the same. This is what we're going to get. We're not going to keep these players forever, but that's fine. But as long as we've got the train in motion that these young players are coming in. He looks poor, but he looks good. Yeah.
And as long as we're using those profits to good use. I mean, for example, right, let's just say, for example, they could literally, with some investments and so on and so forth, they could actually go out there, find a piece of land and build a stadium, right? And get us out of that bloody shithole, to be fair. Because, I mean, it's not like, it is a good stadium, but it's not a good football stadium. Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, like when you're in the upper tiers, you're climbing up so many stairs. Honestly, I thought I was going to be bumping into St. Peter or something. It's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. And then when you get out into the stadium bowl and you're in row 63 and the stairs come out at like row 50, so you got another 13 flights of stairs to go up. All right. Well, not flights, but
the stadium's an argument for about 3 years' time. I don't. At the moment, what we're relying on is building 18.
Saying, Cieran, we've like by using the profits from selling on players, they should have a fund there ready to go and build a stadium, or to rip down what we've got and build it as a proper stadium.
No, I don't think that's going to. I don't think you can earn that enough. That's all. When you look at what it costs to build a stadium, mate, it's serious.
I'm not talking about using that money as the entirety of the fund. I mean, obviously, there's going to be other, like I said, investors and so on and so forth. I mean, like, for example, if David Sullivan is selling up, if David Sullivan is selling up at any point in the next 5 years, let's say, and I don't know, let's say it's an American investor, for example, somebody with billions and billions and billions of dollars behind them, they might invest enough money into building a stadium. I mean, what's a stadium cost these days? About £1 billion, isn't it? Once you've got your land, it's about £1 billion quid.
Where's the land?
You got
land. Where's this millionaire?
That's what you got to find first, the land.
Well, we've already got it. We've got the stadium already on it.
Yeah, well, they won't.
I know we don't own it. And there's going to be that argument in the chat. We don't own it, but that's what I'm saying. The LLDC want it off their hands. Why don't we buy it off of them for a few quid?
The reason we don't, buddy, because it's costing us £4 million a year. It's peanuts, right? We are sitting in the box seat here, and it's cost them they're probably losing 30 million a year for us to be in there. So eventually, that has to break. They can't keep losing that every year on year on the LDDC or whatever. I know, but what I'm saying, bud, why would West Ham take on the debt of that stadium, costing us 30, 40 million a year when we can pay 4? You know, it doesn't make sense at this moment unless they sell it to us at bargain price. But I don't think, you know, Sullivan's at the age, he ain't going to want to buy it, for, you know, spend 300, 400 million, whatever they want. He doesn't want it. He wants the deal he's got now. Now, like you said, if a massive big boy come in, an Allstate or an American billionaire, that could change. But I think that's years and years away. And hopefully it does.
What about if we had investment like Brighton got from American Express, you know, like a 30-year commitment?
That depends how much.
Blah, blah, blah. Build a stadium, but it's got to be called the Amex or the American Express Stadium. Or
depends how much you want to spend on a stadium. I mean, Tottenham spend £1 billion on a stadium.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it costs now to build a stadium.
That was then. That's going to be a lot dearer now.
Oh, yeah.
$1.25 billion then, because it can't go up no more than 250 million, surely. It can't even be another $250 million. It'll be like 1.1 or something. Because, you know, let's be fair. How long ago? Oh, he's gone. How long ago did Tottenham have that stadium built? What, 4 years now? 5 years?
Must be five or 6 year, Budge, 5 or 6 years ago. Plus, it's a multi-use stadium, you know?
Yeah,
it's a multi-use stadium for concerts.
That's
and
what I'm saying. It cost them $1 billion.
Budge, we're years away from that. I mean, God, we got to get rid of these owners first. It's not happening with them in charge. You know what I mean? It's lovely to think that way, but God, it's so far away.
Getting back to that Ibrahim Osman, though, our first offer was declined. It was, you know, refused outright. And I think the rumour was that they were looking at 15 million for him, euros. And I
think 15 million euros was the first offer, much, you know, about 13 million quid, something like that.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what I saw anyway. That's what I saw. Well, 15 million euros.
That's what they're valuing him at.
I'm sure that's what was our offer. But I don't know.
No. I reckon it was around about 11 or 12 or something. It fell short, I bet you. Because they wouldn't have refused it. That's what they're valuing him at.
Well, you always not back the first offer. That's just good business. Try and get a bit more.
You always put the first offer in a bit cheap anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, starting to get over the line, mate. He'll have it. He'll be on that jet soon, don't worry. But then again, like I said, this isn't. I don't believe that boy is going to be the fix-all. I don't believe he even starts. I reckon that's a boy for the future. We might see him, you know, in a couple of games and brought on here and there just to give him a run. But I must say, one of the bits I have seen, he is rapid, good feet, rapid, raw.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I think it could be a good signing for the future, man.
Yeah, Happy's asking the question: didn't Osman turn us down then? Welcome back. Welcome back. No, he didn't. He's actually expressed a desire to come to West Ham. And on the subject of Osman, which is what I was going to say, he comes from the same academy as Kudus.
Yeah,
so therefore, you know, there's already a kickstart there for him anyway, isn't there? You know what I mean? Knowing that he's come from the same roots as, you know, arguably one of the best players we've had in the last 10 years. You know, him and a few others are all very, very good. You know what I mean? They all go in that bracket of being top players. I'm going to go through some of these. Right here. This is a good point. Rog saying Paqueta should play in front of Alvarez and Phillips, and then JWP and Souček both sit on the bench. Yeah, but then who plays out left?
Well, whatever way round. But I remember we had this conversation right at the beginning when we started this show, Budgie. You know, what players would you like to bring in? I always said we need a cover for Alvarez or someone to play next to it. And Phillips is both.
He fits that bill.
He fits. You know, Alvarez is going to be missing games, so he's there. He's brilliant. Phillips is a superb player. He's a great player, mate. And he can ping a ball from 50 metres and put it on a sixth. So I like the idea. Now, what way round he does it, whether he drops Souček out of there or not, or Ward-Prowse, I think he got to get him in there if you can. He doesn't like to drop Souček, but we might see it. Who knows? But whatever way round, it strengthens the squad. Whatever way it goes, you know what I mean? It strengthens that squad and makes us.
I agree.
Yeah, I was round at my local Tesco's yesterday. And
Well, you didn't see a player there, did you? You were going to buy?
No. I was chatting to a guy who's a Man City fan. He had a Man City jacket on. And I said to him, what do you think about Phillips coming to West Ham then? And he said it'd be brilliant for West Ham. He's, decent player. He said, you need a player like Declan Rice to replace him. And I went, you obviously haven't watched him play. And he went, what do you mean? I said, he's nothing like Declan Rice. Nothing like Declan Rice. I said, he's not got the desire to burst forward. He hasn't. He's a defensive-minded player. I said, that's not Declan Rice, mate. And he was like, well, no, but, you watch, if he starts getting regular game time, he will do. I said, no. Did you watch them when they were playing for England? They were both rigid and, defensive.
I think Alvarez takes a beating in this place, I didn't know who the hell Alvarez was, and I knew Man City had a player called Alvarez, but I didn't know there was a Mexican out there.
Yeah, but funnily enough, that's a player we turned down 2 years previously.
Is that right?
Or a year previously. Yeah, we turned him down. We said, no, he's not for us, mate. And then a year later, Man City went and got him. And was it a year? It might have been 2. I don't know. Happy Amaret will know, because she was the one that.
I'm not sure we turned him down. Moyes just didn't fancy him. There's,
yeah,
bit of fanatics, but he didn't fancy him, and Man City did, and he became a World Cup winner. So they probably weren't going to come to a smaller club anyway. Budge, I'd say he was always destined for a big club.
Oh, good, yeah. I mean, the thing is with Phillips, he didn't go to Man City expecting to be on the bench for every game, but I don't know, what is it? It's 15, 18 that he's played, and he's never started.
Who?
Something like
Phillips. I think he's only had 16 starts in 2 seasons. Yeah. There you go. That's what you go with a big squad,
Not 16 starts. He's had 16 appearances, 1 start, or 2 starts.
He hasn't. At the end of the day, it hasn't worked out for him there. There's better players in front of him. That's as simple as that. That doesn't mean he's not a good player. They don't want to spend 49, 50 million on him. Mate, they rate him. They do rate him. But obviously, he's got better players in front of him. So at West Ham, he's got him and Alvarez, and that would be fantastic. If he can work out to put both in the team, I think, wow, that's a real bonus.
And the other thing is that because he hasn't played an awful lot of football, his body won't have been put under as much stress as players that are playing regularly week in, week out. So even though that he's 28 years old, his body is probably still like a 24-year-old. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
His body.
Well, at the end of the day, at this moment, and I think he will be, it'll be confirmed tomorrow. We've only got him for 4 months at the end of the day, and unless something transpires after that. But it's a 4-month signing. I think it's a good signing, and it'll improve
with an option.
Is he going to be on loan?
Yeah,
he's
on
loan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the reports that we're hearing is that he's on 140k a week, and we're going to cover that. And he's going to cost us 7 million for the loan, something like that.
There was talk of £5 to £7 million for the loan. It's a lot of money. A lot of money for a month.
It is. But then the thing is, if we take up the option, it's only another, I don't know, what is it, 23 to give them or something? It's 30 million.
No, I think it's going to get closer to 40 million. What it's going to cost us. But
that's what they paid for him, wasn't it? 42. they paid for him.
I think
from Leeds.
I think he'll have to take a wage cut if he comes to West Ham, and that could be the crux of it. I'm not sure.
He get more playing time too.
We'll find out in the coming days. Sorry, Barney.
No, I said he'll get more playing time too.
Yeah,
West Ham.
He'll
And he needs it.
Playing time.
Yeah,
And, you know what I mean? He'll get, and he'll be, even if Moyes doesn't want to drop any of the other players, he will do in cup games, first of all. That's where we're first going to see Phillips playing, in the cup games. You know, like
I don't know. I'm not so sure, Budge. I'm not. This guy's coming to get game time. I just wonder, you know, if you're Phillips, you got to have some kind of guarantee that you're going to have some game time. Otherwise, the loan's pointless to him. And that cup, remember, we can say cup time. We only got one cup. We've given away the other two. So he really does need game time. And I think he'll get it. I mean, we need this. We need a rotation. We need a squad. It doesn't matter who loses out, but it makes our bench stronger. Even if he is playing on the bench, I think it's a good signing. It just improves the squad. And regardless, but he will get game time, I think.
And
whatever
like
Moyes decides to do.
He's not a typical Rice replacement, in my opinion. He's not the sort of player that plays the same game. And yeah, that's comment that's on the screen. It says
he's not the same price either.
No, Rice wanted Phillips at West Ham, not Moyes, says usual suspect. If that's true, you know, he wouldn't want a player that's identical to him next to him, would he? And, you know, as I said, we saw in the England setup, they weren't very different. They were very different.
I think he's very versatile, Phillips. I think he can push forward and he can sit deep. I mean, you've got a best of both worlds of that boy. And like I said, he can ping a ball 50 metres, diagonal ball across the bank on a sixpence. He's very good with his feet. So I'm quite happy he's coming.
Yeah, Marcus here says Calvin Phillips will get us European football next year, calling it now.
It could well happen, Marcus. You know, it could be the difference. It could be because, like
Lingard
he might be missing Alvarez. Let's put it this way: we have looked at our worst when Alvarez has been missing, right? With Souček and Ward-Prowse, we look terrible. So even if Alvarez is missing, we've got Phillips. So there's such a. I've always said we need cover for Alvarez, you know, and this is it. This is it. So I think it's the signing is bang on. We needed that first before we need a left winger and a striker or left fullback, because we do need a fullback and a left winger too. So Osman might fill in the left wing spot. I still think we need another left fullback because Cresswell will, I'd say, leaving by the end of the season. So we're on the right track. We're filling the places we need to fill. I mean, and this is a good start.
Yeah. Ryan's put up a good point here. Surely the 7 million includes the cost of his wages.
I don't think it is, Ryan. I think it's 7 million plus his wages, which is frightening.
Which is about another 3 or 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's a lot of money. It's crazy.
I think they're going to, because I don't think they want to spend the money in this season to buy him. I think they want him on loan so that they can take up the option in August. And then say, right.
It's always a good, in January, I think loan signs are a really good option.
New Year really clean sheet on the FFP though, isn't it?
Yeah. And plus you get to look, mate. I mean, we know he's had a few injuries here and there. He missed a lot of time through injury as well, not just not being fit. So I'd like to see, you know, is he fit enough? Is he going to get injured? The manager will want to see that too. And if he can keep him on fit and on the pitch and all that, that bodes well. If he starts getting injured for this first months, and well, then, you know, you're probably not going to buy him.
Yeah. Old man G, good evening.
Oh, man.
He says, I think Phillips with a decent pacey winger will push for top. We will push for top 5. It's adding pace to our trickery. Yeah, I see where you're going at, old man. Because he's so good at pinging them long balls to the winger. If you've got good wingers, you know what I mean? It helps Rice. Rice. Helps Phillips. Oh, we ain't got Rice back. No, it does help Phillips because he can pick them out. Yeah,
he'll pick Kudus out. Kudus is fine.
I'll just say, you've already got Kudus that he will ping a ball to. At the moment, you know, he's got Paqueta out on the left. Want that to change? Everybody wants that to change. I think even David Moyes wants that to change, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And don't be at all surprised now, right, after the performance when he came on the other day, if he doesn't try Ben Johnson out there. I'm calling that right now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Why not?
He's not quick enough. Because what my angst with Johnson is, I think he's a decent right back. But every time we played him last year, going forward, he was terrible. He really was poor. He couldn't beat a player, couldn't get a crossover. So that's further up the pitch. He's not that good, man. That's the problem with him.
What are you talking about? He was incredible.
All his best football. What he done in the midfield the other day was really good. Right, really good.
So stick him on the left hand side.
In the midfield.
Stick him on the left hand side.
He hasn't got the pace. We're just going to see another Ben Rama who's too slow out there. He's not quick enough. We need a speedster out there. And if this Osman is a speedster, but he might not be ready yet, I don't know. But I wouldn't have Johnson anywhere near the left or right wing. Really wouldn't. And you've got to remember, even in that game the other day, he gave the ball away that led to Soufal being sent off and then them scoring getting the penalty from it. Not that I like to knock him, because I think he was really impressive when he came on, Johnson, in the midfield. It was better than the two we had in there, that's for sure, in JWP and Socek.
Yeah. I have also got another name that we've been linked with. I only noticed it about an hour before we came on. His name is Mandela Chieta. Or Chieta.
No, new one on me, but
he's a Belgian player who plays as a defensive midfielder for Belgian Pro League club Antwerp. Now, he's on loan from OH Leuven, but the thing is, he's a defensive midfielder, so I think the link to him will probably filter out after tomorrow, if and when the Calvin Phillips signing is. Either that, or they will get him, you know, in foresight of Calvin Phillips going. And because he's 21, he can play in the under 21s or 23s or whatever it is now, and they can test him and see how good he is. And then at the beginning of next season, we've got a new defensive midfielder to play alongside Edson Alvarez. Now, he's a really decent midfielder, I've been told. Well, from what I've read, I should say. So, you know, that's another name. Yeah. Mandela Chieta. So there you go. No, but there you go. It's another name we're linked with. I just thought I'd throw that one in there.
Does he play for Belgium?
Yeah, he's in Belgium. Hang on, let me just check if that's the.
So it'd be the same as Trossard, right?
Yeah. It says here he's on loan from OH Leuven and the Belgian national team. So he plays at Antwerp on loan and the national team. Let me have a look at his stats. Let me just quickly have a look at his stats on that. Right, so he has played for Leuven 27 times without finding the net. He's been on loan with Antwerp for a year now. He's played 24 games and scored only once. He's played for the under 21s at for Belgium, played 8 times. He's had one appearance last year for the national squad and scored. No, he didn't score. Sorry, that was my cursor. Yeah, so there you go. So he's an up-and-coming player. Like I said, you know, he might be the sort of player that David Moyes would just go, look, go into the under-23 for the rest of this season. I'll have a look at you, see what you're doing, and if we can get you into the first team squad, I won't have to pay out all that money for Calvin Phillips. you know. And I think let me have a look. Actually, let me go back there. Transfer marks and see what they're valuing him at. 11 million euros. Yeah, 11 million euros. He's 21, 6 foot. Yeah. Belgian national, Belgian international, I should say. Right. So, yeah, you never know, like I said. But I think, you know, at the moment, we're kind of filling up the midfield a bit, haven't we? You know, we've got what we've display that Ben Johnson put on the other day. I mean, he's got to be considered as a
it's amazing
for any of them boys.
Every time I've seen him have a good game, Johnson, it's not been in his preferred position as right back. It's always been somewhere else. Even at left back, he done well. In the midfield, he's done well. When he played in the centre as a centre half, then when he was filling in, he done well. It's where he's been at right back. He's sort of not been. To me, I don't think he's at a good enough standard for a Premier League. But I do like him as a utility player. I think he's a good player. I think, why not sign him up and have him in the squad? Because he is a good player. I just don't think he's what you need for the future as a right back myself.
Who is he related to? He's related to somebody, isn't he? Johnson.
Is he?
Yeah.
Young Johnson?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's related to Paul Parker. Paul Parker is his dad's brother, I think. Or
Is that right?
Brother. His mum.
Right?
Yeah, it's Paul Parker. Played for Manchester United, I believe, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Paul Parker.
Yeah. My mate used to go to school with Paul Parker. He came out of Elm Park, next to Hornchurch.
I remember he played for Man United. I'm fairly sure it was Chelsea he played at as well.
Yeah, he was a good player too. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ben Johnson's related to him. Yeah. Which is kind of weird, isn't it?
So, Cieran, you just mentioned Elm Park. Is that where you're from?
No, a lot of my mates are from Elm Park, mate, and Hornchurch, and I was out of East Ham. Barney, I was out of East Ham, but I did move for a while there to Elm Park and lived there for a little while. So, yeah. But I've got a lot of friends around Elm Park and Hornchurch.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So, I used to drive through your area all the time, Barney, going through Dagenham. There on the way. Played in a lot of playing fields around Dagenham, when we were playing Sunday football and that. Yeah.
Sunday football was the worst on Hackney with the Ashes.
Yeah, Hackney and Wanstead Flats a lot.
Wanstead Flats, yeah.
Well, you know I'm familiar with Wanstead Flats, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I literally, my auntie and uncle literally lived in the house opposite Tilney Road on Capel Lane. Right? They lived in the house, and he was the
dressing room, isn't it?
For that. Yeah. Well, the dressing rooms were literally next door to his house. He maintained them and all that. He was the groundsman. He used to put all the nets and the posts and the corners.
And icy water for washing in.
What's that, Bob?
Yeah.
You didn't get showers in those days. You got icy water.
They all had showers in there when my uncle lived in there. I was about 8 when he moved into there. So that would have been about 1970. Definitely, yeah, there were showers because we used to go up there all the time for summer holiday and that, and because I was a West Ham fan, it was brilliant for me. That was my school holiday. I wanted to go to London, and I did regularly every year. And sometimes my mum would let me go up there and stay up there when they came back to go to work or whatever. And they would let me stay up there with my auntie and uncle, so I could go to more games. I used to play on the pitches out on fields and that. And my uncle got me like East Ham Wanderers or Warriors or something they were called. he got me like playing with them, and yeah, it was brilliant. We had a right good time. But yeah, and whenever we like nighttime, it was like come to about what I don't know 9 o'clock or something, and my uncle would say, "Right, time for a shower. Go on, boys," and he'd throw a bunch of keys at me cousin, and me and my cousin Sean go down into whichever block we wanted to. We always used to choose the closest one
Yeah.
to the house, but it's less distance to go, and it was the hot water was a lot hotter in that one. It was right next to the boiler.
Well, in the 50s, it was flipping cold water,
Yeah,
and
I can remember.
we'd wash our boots in it too.
Yeah. Oh, they all used to anyway. They still did. Probably still do now.
Yeah,
There's-
definitely. It's an eye opener. I remember my first time I played for a men's team. I was only 14, 15, and my brother-in-law played for him, and he asked me to come and play with them. They're down a couple of players, so I played with them, mate. But I was 14, and going into that, after the game, going into that dressing room, and about 100 geezers walking around stark bollock naked, and I don't think I had a hair around me balls at that stage. I was embarrassed as fuck. It's so embarrassing, all these big gorillas.
Black out and started drawing them on.
And they all walk around stark bollock, didn't give a shit. And there's me with my towel wrapped around me trying to get to the shower, trying to be all embarrassed.
Great. Yeah, and then when you do get into the shower block, there's just like a row of showers on the 3 walls. There's like no cubicles or nothing.
Well,
No, there's no privacy there, guys.
Me and my cousin used to block up the drain and fill the fucking floor up with water.
What, at the bath?
Yeah, mate. Well, we would just fuck about. You know what I mean?
I was
about 8 years old. I was probably taking toy boats in there with me and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
I remember being in the
brilliant.
shower, and it was a pipe with holes in it.
Yeah.
You had to catch the water.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Tell the kids of the day, and I won't believe you.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
we used to have to lick road clean with tongue.
All right. But yeah. Yeah, they work hard.
Yeah. So, how's Mrs. Bren? How's Bonnie doing?
She's
mate?
not too bad. She's not too bad.
Good. We'll send our love to her, won't you? Please?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
And obviously, we think about you guys a lot, and it's nice to have you on this evening, Barney. I expect a lot of people have been wondering how you're getting on and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's nice for people to be able to see you on camera and joining in with the conversation, mate.
I'm glad I come on, to be quite honest. I thought if I give you a call, I'd find out how to get on.
Mate, listen, I'll help you anytime. I will, Barney. And we'll do something on my channel as well. Green Street Elites, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
Have a look. So we'll do something on there as well. And I will have a word with Adam, and we'll see if we can't arrange to do something on random as well. I'm sure Adam will definitely be up for that if you want to come on.
Yeah,
In fact, his time zone is a lot closer to yours than mine is, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He'll do. Hopefully, he'll do it something at a time that's convenient for you as well.
All right.
Right. So, well, look, I haven't done a lot of engaging with the chat, and I do apologise about that, everybody.
Yeah, but why don't I get going and you can do that, and I'll say goodbye to Cieran, and I'll come on another time.
Yeah,
okay,
that'd be
Barney,
great, Barney.
lovely seeing you, mate. And as I said,
Yeah.
pass our regards on to Ronnie.
Yeah,
We'll do.
our love to Mama Peach, Barney.
Yeah, thank you,
yourself.
Cieran.
And did
Right.
you get hold of Gatesy, by the way?
No, he hasn't
All
called me.
I'll
don't
talk
know.
to him.
I don't know what's going on about Matthew Stone.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk to him, see if he knows anything. All right, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Much love, Barney.
Take
Cheers,
care.
Barney.
Yeah, all the
All the
best.
best,
Yeah.
mate.
All right, take care, buddy. See you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye, mate. All right. Okay.
All right.
And then there were two.
No, there were two. Yeah, Deuce. Juice. So.
El Duce. Yes. Yeah. So.
Duh.
Hammer it saying by the by. Lots of love coming in for Barney. Oh, hang on. I weren't with that, so I haven't gone. I don't know where that is, so I'm not even going to chase it. I will try and keep up with some of the comments now. So, anyway, what's been happening in your neck of the woods then?
Nothing over here, mate. Just weird weather. We got enough. Just to go back to the weather, there's another cyclone brewing up north in North Queensland, so they're expecting that to hit sometime tonight or today. So they're going to get it. But still, not much else, mate. Well, you keep like I say, this transfer window is quite annoying, and it is and it isn't. Yeah, it's rumour of this, rumour of that, rumour of this. Yeah, I find it quite boring after a while. But it's nice to see we're getting something done with Phillips and maybe the Osman. Something, you know.
Yeah.
Once it's confirmed, that'd be lovely.
Happy wants to know any near death experience with crocs lately, FF?
No, not for me. I'm too far away from bloody North Queensland to get that these days. But no, there's no reports of any shark attacks this week.
Yeah, you have sharks down your way, don't you?
Oh, mate, we got everything. Everything that bites is here. Everything.
No, but what I mean is that it's more common for people to be attacked by a shark in Brisbane than it is a croc. Yes?
Well, no, yeah, so crocs, a lot of people don't realise that crocodiles here only go from about Townsville, North Queensland upwards, you know. They don't come this far south, crocs. They all live up there in the northeast corner of Queensland. So we don't have that problem.
It's probably too hot for them, isn't it, down there?
Huh?
Is it too hot for them down there or something?
I don't know what the reason was, mate. Maybe it's just a geographical thing, but they're not down this way.
Maybe the sharks went round and told them, "Wait, this is our turf, mate. Fuck off."
Yeah, this is our fucking territory.
Yeah, go on, swing your hook, you scaly git.
God, I mean, it's bad enough with the bloody sharks you got here. We don't need them crocs as well. So that's the trouble. Once you've got crocodiles, right, in the rivers and creeks up there, it really kills all the beaches because you can't swim in them. Because the saltwater crocs all coming in and out of the creeks into the ocean. So you can't swim on the beaches there. It's crazy. You have to go out to the islands because they're not on the islands. So you can go out to the islands and swim. But you can't swim off the mainland at Townsville and Cairns because it's too dangerous, man.
Right, yeah. You know, I think our most dangerous animal around here is the unmarried mums. There's plenty of them around Crawley. It seems to be a bloody breeding ground for them. Rupert says, "Where's Cieran? He's in Brisbane, mate, and he's on the Gold Coast."
You're on the Gold Coast, Robert?
Yeah.
Oh, is that Rupert?
Yeah, Rupert, yeah.
Rupert, sorry. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I used to live on the Gold Coast, Rupert, but I used to live in Main Beach. And now I'm in Brisbane. Been here for a while. I used to play for Surfers Paradise Apollo, Rupert, if you know that club down there.
Yeah. Happy says she's happy to dodge a striker in this window. No point in rushing it. We do have enough up top until the summer. Left winger is crucial. They need to pull their fingers out. Yeah, I agree with everything in that statement.
I'm with that at the H because I don't think the striker in January it's not that crucial at the moment. What it is, I think Phillips is a bang-on signing. That's what we need. I'd like to see a left winger and left back more before the striker, and worry about the striker at the end of the year.
Yeah. Gary in Oz is saying it's too cold for crops. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, because We're sort of subtropical here. It gets a bit cool in the winter, and up there in Cairns and Townsville, it isn't. It's still bloody hot in the winter there. So it's probably just
And Bongo comes in and says crocs are cold-blooded, so they need the warm tropical climate year round.
Yeah, we're sort of subtropical, where Townsville are full tropical. So and I lived up in Cairns for about 5-6 months, and my God, fucking heat there, man.
Hence the reason why, obviously, you find alligators in the Everglades and that, because that's like.
I've just had a big Harley Davidson drive past, and it's noisy.
I can hear it going off in the distance, actually.
Couldn't hear a word you said there.
Oh, right. I was just saying that's why, you know, the Florida Everglades, you get like alligators and that.
The alligators that's right. You won't get them up north. Yeah, that's right.
Got you. Yeah, you very rarely find them in Alaska or Iceland.
No, that's not me, mate. They are scary, though. They are scary. On one of the islands up there, Cairns, Budge, I went over there, you know, for a day out there on one of the islands. I think it might be Green Island. And there they've got a little croc sanctuary on the island, you know, and they've got one of the biggest crocs there is. And I think it's called Charlie. Fuck me, man. When you see him in the pen, oh my God, he must be, you know, he must be 20 feet long. It's huge. He's an old croc, but my God, he's massive. It scares the life out of you.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because my brother-in-law is Ghanaian, and his grandfather is the national chief imam of Ghana, which means that he's quite high up in the Islamic faith, in Muslim, you know, faith. And he was presented with a crocodile, you know, obviously an African crocodile, as a gift. And it was probably about 4 foot long, and he was about 12 years old when it was given to him. He's now like in his late 80s or early 90s, and this croc's about 22 or 24 foot long or something. And like about 8 years ago, they realised that it was the enclosure it was in was too small. So the whole community got together, and you know, they financed it between them, you know, and done all the work themselves, and built this new pen for him, nice big pen for him. And apparently, this thing's about like 80 years old. Can't believe they can live that long, but they can.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their lifespan is, but it is quite long.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, well, even if it's 60 years old, do you know what I mean? But it's definitely more than that. Yeah. Pete Chelmsford wants to know, do you get them spiders that appear when you're on the shitter?
No. Wait, there is the redbacks are known for that, because they like to hide under chairs and anything, then go under and stay out of the way. They've got some serious venom in them, right? Because I had a few in my garage here for a while, but they're not an aggressive spider. Usually, if people get bit by them, is when you go and move a chair out, and you're out in the garden, move the chair, put your hand under, and touch one, they'll bite you. You've got to just check that you haven't got them, and what you can do is you get the fumigators in and spray your house every year, 2 years. And it keeps that sort of spider away from your house. That's the only defense you got. Just got to be careful sometimes. You got to remember, most spiders, they've got no interest in you. They just don't want anything to do with you. But you can get unlucky and step on one and he bites, or put your hand where it shouldn't be. Yeah. It really is only bad luck when you get bit.
If I ever get over there and visit you, you've got to get me an elephant gun, because everything over there wants to fucking kill you.
Yeah, I know. I got attacked by them birds the other week, by the plovers. I knew it was mating season. I was doing my daily walk, right, and I was walking around, and then I heard these plovers, right, you hear them in the air, and they got this warning sound, and I know what it is now. And I heard it, and I went, oh no, I must be somewhere near the nest, because they like to build their nest in the grass. And I heard it, and I went, oh fuck. And next thing, this bird comes swoop me and just missed my head. And I started running, geezer, because they got spurs in their wings, and when they attack you, is they hit their wing across your eye or your head and split you open. And there's plenty of cases of it. They split you open, but they'll go for your eyes. And that's if you're walking near the nest. And I just started running, hoping I was running away from the nest, wherever it was. You don't know where it is, right? And I run, and then they came again, swooped, and I kept running. And then you could hear them, but they backed off. So I knew I was running away from the nest. Thank God for that.
Mate, they sound like they're a hybrid of a bird and a vampire bat, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know, mate. Them and the magpies do it every year in their mating season. The magpies attack everyone if you go near their nest.
Your magpies are not like the UK magpies.
No, they're not the same as the Northern European magpie. They're a bit different. They look similar, but they're different. But they do attack during mating season. If you come anywhere near the tree where they've got the nest, they'll come and swoop you. Same thing. Really? So it's funny. There's a lot of clips on YouTube of magpies attacking people, here in the mating. It's funny as fuck. When you see it happening to someone, you can't stop laughing. But it ain't so funny when it's you. I remember I went to one of my boys' soccer matches. Not soccer. I said soccer there. Football matches, right? And I was walking across the field, and again, a plover come and attacked me. And everyone who was watching the game was just standing on the side, not watching the game, watching anyone that walked across the field so they could laugh their tits off and get swooped by this plover. Yeah. It's a form of entertainment here, mate.
Yeah. Ray says the Crocs and Sharks sound like a couple of Hell's Angel gangs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a rewrite of West Side Story. Right, is anyone able to help solve something for me? Oh, here we go. Go on, girl. What do you need to solve? I think
probably not.
Ian, I couldn't cope with the Huntsmans. They're the ones that have got.
Yeah, they're big. No, I do get them in the house quite often. The Huntsman. Yeah. But I've learned to know that they're not dangerous. They have got venom in them, but their teeth they're not strong enough to pierce your skin. So they're really harmless, but they are big, Budge. I mean, hand-size big, some of them.
Oh, really?
They're bloody big, smart. They're one of them spiders, you put it in a horror film.
Gun.
But, yeah, you'd be scared of it, but they're not a bother, really.
I'd be shooting it.
Yeah, I was. The first time I was at the old mother-in-law's house here in Brisbane with her, and she went, Kieran, have you ever seen a husband? When I first came to Australia, I went, no. And she said, have a look at this thing behind it. And in the kitchen on the wall was one of these hand-sized fucking huntsmen. I run back then, man. I went, fuck that. I had nothing to do with that. What are you doing to me? And she's going, it's only a huntsman. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry. It's only a baby. You go, what?
Yeah, it's scary. When you're not used to when you first come to Australia, you're not used to the spiders and that. And the snakes. Because I've come across a lot of snakes, but it does.
Here we go. Here we go. A player that we've been linked to. I looked them up, and on average this season, they've got a booking every 45 minutes. I cannot remember for the life of me who I looked up.
No. Well, that's what we've got. It's only about 6 million players we're talking about here. Should be able to get that.
It depends on where you looked him up, Happy. If you looked him up on Google, for example, look in your Google history, and you might jog your memory.
A booking every 45 minutes?
Yeah. I said
that's just sending off every game.
I said Alfred. And she's like, no, somebody we were into, not somebody we've got.
I don't think he's a player you want.
No. Well, it shows that he's committed. Or he should be committed, one or the other. Yeah, anyway, listen, we've been going for exactly an hour and 10 seconds, so we could start winding things down if you want, mate.
Yeah, whatever, mate. Mate.
Yeah, Toho says, don't leave us hanging. Well, she will, because that question was asked probably 36 hours ago in our WhatsApp group. And none of us
we need Columbo on that. He'll sort it out.
Right. Jonathan says, cold-blooded, stay up north, and massive you lad talking about Crocs or the ladies around here in the UK.
That's why I'm here, Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the most dangerous animals around this area are literally the unmarried mums, you know, especially, you know, in certain areas around here. You're not from around here, so Broadfield.
Do you know what? I've been getting a lot better here, Bud. You know that been coming up on YouTube, the story about all these post office people that we keep getting they got nicked and sent to prison for stealing, and it was nothing to do with them. It was down to the computer set up, the IT. It's an unbelievable story, that is.
Yeah.
You seen what about that?
Nah, mate. No,
It's absolutely disgraceful.
You know, I have got no idea. I couldn't even tell you if Adolf Hitler's still alive. I don't do the news very often.
No, but it's just something. It's so bad, the story about these people getting sent to prison, and they've done nothing wrong. It's really bad by the post office. It's outrageous.
Really, I'll have to look that
Really,
up. I'll have to look it up. Happy says, has anyone heard Matty Etherington's podcast about addiction? Yeah, it was on Ironcast, wasn't it? With
I didn't watch it, actually.
You did, yeah?
No, I didn't. No, one of them I saw and went, I'll come back to that. I haven't yet.
Yeah, it's a good watch, actually, Cieran, to be honest with you, mate. You know, I always liked Matty Etherington, the player.
Yeah, I liked him.
And I knew very little about Matty Etherington, the man. Right now, that probably a 45-minute video, and every single minute of that video makes you like him more and more and more.
What was it? What was his addiction, Bud?
Gambling.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, and he said, and I'm not quoting him word for word because I can't remember it word for word, but he said something along the lines of, "I hated the thought that I had to leave West Ham, but I had to do it for my own, you know, benefit, because I needed to get away from my addiction of the gambling." So he went to Stoke, and he managed to get himself out of the habit of gambling. Fair play to him. But it's a really interesting podcast, and I do recommend it. It's a really, really good one. Really, really good one. Pete Chelmsford said he saw a picture of a huntsman spider in someone's bathroom, and it looked like the size of a large plate.
Yeah, some of them can be. Yeah,
is that including the legs or just the body of it?
And the thing is, when you go near a huntsman, if you wanted to try and just get it, it jumps, right? You come near it, it jump from off that wall somewhere towards you, or anywhere, or jump, and that's when you get scared. When it jumps at you.
X just tweeted, or really, if you want to put it on truthfully now, X just X'd that the Osman player is near completion for 18 million euros, which is 14.8, 14.9.
Yeah, about 15 million, 15 million pound.
Talks to continue tomorrow. Good news.
Yeah,
Good news.
Look, if this is another Stein pick, guys, I'm excited for it because I've got all my trust in him to find these players. That'd be great. And even if it's not for now, it's for the future. We get him ready and get him better and get him used to the Premier League. That'd be great. It's good news.
Acclimatise him.
Give him time
in the under 23s or under 21s.
Yeah. Even if it's on the bench here and he gets a few minutes now and again. But I just don't want West Ham supporters to think that's it. Ben Rama out, him in, and he starts next week. I don't think that's
that's never going to happen. That's never.
I think it's going to be slowly but surely. That boy, hopefully, he's a winner. Yeah. Hopefully he's a winner. But he is rapid. He's rapid.
As far as David Moyes is concerned, he's got the left covered at the moment with Paqueta. That's I'm not in a big rush to change that. But I want someone in the future to be able to just step in now, and that could be the player for it.
Because I don't know. I mean, I think he will be from what I've seen of him, Bud. I think he's an out-and-out left winger or right winger because I think he's right-footed. But because I'll see the clips I've seen of him, and you can't really trust all them because it's all their best bits. But I just want to get an idea of what this boy does. And in a lot of the clips, he's on the left. Some of the clips, he's on the right. So he's you can swap him around a bit. But he's quick with the ball, not just quick. He's just quick running with the ball. I just think he looks raw, And a lot of them clips was him getting to the byline and cutting the ball back, not just running down the wing and crossing from deep. He was getting to the byline and quicker than the defender. Simple as that. But so he is a prospect, mate. Let's hope he's good for the future.
Yeah.
We could actually lose Paqueta in the summer, couldn't we? If Man City come calling, who knows how that's going to end up? Hopefully not, but there's a very good chance of it, isn't there?
Right, let me just have a quick look here, because this will tell me which is his favoured foot. You're saying you think it's the right, yeah?
No, mainly left. The clips we saw of him, he plays on the left, but he's right-footed.
No, what I mean, right-footed, right.
Yeah, that's what he looked like, because he was carrying the ball a lot with his right foot, so I'm presuming he's right-footed.
Yeah. Transfer marked. List him as a left winger.
Yeah.
Last update was 1.5 million euros.
I know.
Value.
But it seems like we're paying a lot for this player. But at his level, the level of league he's in and everything else. But if Steinem thinks he's going to be, he could be worth 80 million in 3 years' time, well, fair play. We'll go with it.
Yeah, exactly that. Other positions, right winger or centre forward. So very much Kudus type style, can play either side or in the middle.
Powerful. He's a powerful looking guy.
Participation, 19% of the goals. 74% of the minutes, 82% starting 11. Out of the games he's played. Current market value 1.5. That's definitely wrong.
I've got a little.
But I mean, it doesn't really go into much, but it doesn't tell you what his favourite foot is. So maybe, as you say, it's right, but he may be has a left foot as well. Who knows?
I'd look the way he carries the ball with his right, so that tells me he's right footed. But he was getting to the byline and banging balls over his left. I don't think he's got a problem with either foot. But I think he's predominantly right footed. But I just love a bit of pace in a player, Budge. It's nice to see someone with a bit of pace, and he looks like he's got it.
Yeah. Thanks, Cookie, mate. He said he can confirm that Hitler is dead.
Well, I don't know, Cookie. Did they find it?
Yeah. Ian agrees with you that post office thing is an absolute scandal.
Actually, it's worse than that, Budge. It's worse than an absolute scandal. It's fucking disgraceful. Some fucking heads got to roll there, hopefully. But there you
go. Peter says,
every winner, Peter. Every winner.
Yeah. Happy. Thank you for reminding me, darling. During the 21-22 player awards thing that they do on the West Ham YouTube channel, the save of the season went to the only keeper that played any minutes in that season, Fabianski, but it was a bloody good save against United at Old Trafford, and he was going to his right, the header came off of a defender, deflected to his left, so he adjusted himself, got his fingers to it, pushed it onto the post. Beautiful save.
I remember that,
so they're chatting to Fabianski, and that guy who does the interviews on that Ironcast he's the same guy that was talking to Fabianski. Chris, is it? I think his name is. Anyway, he says to Fabianski, he said, like, a lot of goalkeepers and that today, he said, like, including yourself, have to be good with their feet. So Fabianski agreed, and he said, like, have you ever fancied yourself in another position or anything? Fabianski's sort of like, well, he goes, actually, I will tell you a story. And he goes on about this story about where he's goalkeeper substitute on the bench. He's playing for Lech Poznan in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing for the second team, so he's in the third division, as it were, in Poland, right? So he's on the bench with 2 outfield players, and that's it. 3 of them. The game's not going well. They're losing, clearly. And the manager makes 2 substitutions. And then the striker gets injured and has to be substituted. So Fabianski was put on as an outfield player, as a striker. They lost the game 4-1. Fabianski scored the 1 goal. Yeah.
Oh, he's got a goal to his name.
Yeah. Ain't that an amazing story, though? You know what I mean? I've never heard it before, because I've never really seen any Fabianski interviews that go into any depth like that,
Yeah.
And I just thought that was quite an interesting little story, Fabianski wore the 9 shirt. He literally took the 9 shirt, I would imagine. He
must have just put him up there, no one else.
Yeah, he must have been kitted out to go on as a keeper. With his own, like, 13 shirt off or whatever it is.
Exactly,
and then go and stick on the number 9 shirt.
Yeah, because I do believe it's an ambition for every goalkeeper to have at least 1 goal in his resume, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember, what's his name, done that magnificent header. Was it Alisson at Liverpool the other year?
Alisson, yeah.
He came up at the end and got it.
He mentioned that in the group earlier.
What's a header that one?
Mentioned that in the group.
You know what I mean? I think every keeper would love to do that.
Yeah, and Adrian getting that winning penalty for us.
Exactly,
Was that when we beat City in the League Cup and knocked them out? No, it was long before that.
Forget it was a league.
That would have.
It was a cup match. But I can't remember who it was, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. But I remember Adrian coming up and he threw his gloves on the floor, didn't he? He went up, stepped up and took it. Loved it. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, quite a few goalkeepers have had goals, haven't they? What was that?
I'm pretty sure I watched Mervyn Day do it once against Man United, but just a long kick with the wind blowing, and it bounced over there. It might have even been Alex Stepney, I can't remember. Bounced over his head and went in. Remember seeing that up on top? I think in my head, I think it was that.
I kind of remember that. I wasn't sure who it was.
Yeah, I could be wrong with Mervyn Day, but I remember that. I'm sure it was Man United because the goal from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Just bounced over.
I'm pretty sure it was Man United. Because the keeper came out to meet it and it literally bounced over his head.
It could have been Bobby Ferguson if I got it wrong, but I don't know. It was back in the day.
I think he might be right. I think he might have been Mervyn Day, actually. Yes, yeah. Right. Toha said the Arbroath reserve keeper scored a screamer, but he was on as an outfield player a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, how good is that, eh?
Yeah, and there's another one. Oh, Harry Kane scored a hat-trick and then had to go in goal. Do you remember that? That was about 4 years ago, wasn't it?
I do remember something of it, yeah. He had to go in goal. I remember Bobby Moore had to go in goal.
Yeah, I remember that and all. Yeah. And, you know, like there are Crocodile Dundee is a West Ham fan. Yeah, and apparently so is Jack Hargreaves. Anyway, what was I going to say? I remember that there's certain things that happen in games, like when, you know, you can't help but like remember them.
Because it's so
vivid
bizarre.
Details.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I mean, like
think
Bobby Moore picking up the whistle and blowing it when the keeper got knocked out that time.
yeah.
That was against.
Well, I think
Fulham.
Bobby Moore saved the penalty in that. I think was it against Stoke? I think he saved the penalty, but the guy smashed in the rebound. That's what
Right.
in that game. Bobby Moore saved the penalty. I'm sure that was it, and then they smashed the rebound in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how I remember it anyway. Unless I dreamt that. I don't know. Could have been.
I mean, and obviously the Paolo Di Canio story when the ball come flying into him in the box and someone was down, he grabbed the ball out of the air, didn't he? Picked it out of the air.
Yeah,
and,
much to Red Nap's disgust, but it was a great.
But
bit
the
of
funny thing
bullshit.
is, Paolo said at the time he thought, "Oh, Harry will be so proud of me," and Harry was on the bench going, "I'm gonna fucking kill him."
What are you doing? There was that again. I think it might have been Everton when the keeper, and he was. It weren't. To be fair, like if that keeper was just like in today's game, just pretending to be hurt, that guy was hurt. They stretched him off. That keeper. Yeah. So Paolo was right, and it was a great bit of sportsmanship. Actually, gave him a little bit of redemption after pushing the referee, kung fuing the referee.
Exactly that. It's kind of his penance for doing that, isn't it?
It was. I mean? Yeah, it was a great bit of sportsmanship. So fair play.
In fact, you know what? I remember. You remember Rodney Marsh when he was at QPR?
Mm. Yeah.
I remember he clattered into a lino. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, he was running down that left or right wing, was it? He used to play. Well, I know he was everywhere, but he used to love running down the wing, right wing, wasn't it? And the ball came over and he was running with the ball and it clattered into the lino and the lino actually got stretchered off. Yeah,
right and all. They gave an offside a minute ago, so he should.
I do believe it was because it was in the I can't remember, but anyway, it was one of the teams that one of their coaches had to come on as the lino and cover for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was QPR's coach. One of QPR's coaches came on because it was in the QPR defensive area, I think.
Yeah.
I loved Rodney Marsh. He was great. I actually got to see him play once alongside Bobby Moore.
Who? Beautiful. Rodney Marsh?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh God, I'm getting confused, am I?
I think you could be right, man. When they
Fulham together.
I think when they went to Fulham, didn't Rodney Marsh end up there with him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was, mate. She had Rodney Marsh and Stan Bowles at QPR that were just amazing.
Oh, Stan Bowles was fucking brilliant.
Just another genius of a player.
I used to, do you know, one of my favourite strikers from back in them days was Frank Worthington.
Yeah, he was a great player, man.
He was like back in the sort of 70s, wasn't he? 70s.
Yeah,
70s.
He was fabulous.
He was like the Shearer of the day back then, wasn't he? You know what I mean? You could always rely on him for a goal.
I think he was even,
wasn't it?
I think Leicester, yeah. I think it was more. All these, there were midfielders, just mavericks. They're all sort of Paolo Di Canios, you know. I thought with Rodney Marsh, Stan Bowles, Frank Werner, they just score goals from anywhere, make a goal.
Yeah.
So good on the ball, just entertainment. This is my point about why I'm not enjoying West Ham at the moment, because the entertainment value is not as good. The results have been good, but the entertainment's not. When you go back to them days, so many teams had that entertainer in their side. And, you know, and like I said, me and you, as mad West Ham fans, can still recognise the entertainment value of Rodney Marsh, Stan Bowles, who played for other teams. And Frank
we're not talking about the obvious in George Best. You know what I mean? We're not even talking. I mean, he was the master of it, wasn't he? Really?
Just entertainment plus.
Yeah, he was the player that everybody wanted to watch. Didn't care who you supported. If George Best was playing, that's who you kept your eyes on. Yeah,
it's great.
And George Best also played at Fulham alongside them boys, didn't he? Alongside Bobby Moore, anyway, at least.
Yeah. There you go, man. Entertaining players, they do get you off your seat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. Happy saying, smash the like button, chat. Show the old chap some love, mate. That's the only love we get, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Just some finger love on the button.
There you go, Mr. Bong. Thank you, sir. Bobby Moore, Rodney Marsh, and George Best.
Yes, Mr. James, he's on it. Yeah, they were.
And I witnessed that at Upton Park. So yeah.
Well, I think James will probably remind me, but I'm pretty sure it was Rodney Marsh and George Best tackling each other on the pitch while the game was going on, trying to take the ball off each other, taking the piss. It was funny as fuck,
mate. But just those two alone. I mean, those two names alone, right? In a team at their peak. I mean, they weren't at their peak when they were at Fulham, admittedly.
No, they're near the end.
But Rodney Marsh at his peak and George Best at his peak, they both peaked at around about the same time anyway. But if you'd have got them in a team together when they were in their mid-20s instead of late 20s, or early 20s, I should say, what a flipping front two that could have been. George Best and Rodney Marsh. Well, not front.
See, that's what I think. Because the DNA of West Ham, as I like to call it as a supporter, I reckon if you went back to the late 70s and early 80s and asked West Ham who was your favourite player, 90%, right, I would say Devonshire and Brooklyn, right? And I'd say Billy Bonds, but for different reasons. But because of the class and the flair and the creativity they had, that's what supporters love in West Ham. They love creative play. That's why Canio was such a favourite player. Why Paquetá is now, and Kudos, because they create. They're exciting. You want that in a team. You really do. Yeah, and everyone loves it. Everyone loves to watch it. I love watching Hazard and what's his name? Who come as our manager at Chelsea. Man, that was just
there's quite a large number of West Ham fans that enjoyed watching, like Manuel Lanzini, people like him. What was his name? Scotty Parker. I mean, we used to love watching Scotty Parker when he got onto the ball. You never knew where that fucking thing was going to end up. He could pinpoint a pass. He could score from 40 yards near enough. I mean, he was magical.
But it's a creative player, isn't it? You nearly always remember. It's them creative geniuses that you remember. Yeah. And I think, like I say, Paquetá's that at the moment. He's the one we've got at the moment that creates things and is exciting to watch, and he takes chances and frustrating as well at times. But that's what you get.
Mark Ward was a bowler in his day, and all.
He was a bowler, but not. I don't think in that sort of category. I loved Mark Ward. I thought he was a great player.
I mean, he was a sturdy player in my opinion. That had
the Maverick players, mate, we all love them, man. We all love the Maverick players.
Julian Dick.
I just love it. You watch, like I say, you see De Bruyne come on, that Man City game the last 20 minutes, and it just changed the whole game. And a pass that's just to die for, and he scores a goal and wins the game. That's what you want to see, man.
Yeah,
I really love
it. Yeah, old man says Julian Dick smashing penalties and players.
For different reasons, we love Julian Dick sticking someone in the fucking third row and smashing a penalty, and his attitude. It was just full on, like we did with Billy Bonds. It was just a warrior type attitude. We loved that too. So,
John Shadows.
Yeah, John Shadozy. He went to my school, mate. I went to school with John Shadozy. I think he ended up at Tottenham. I'm not sure if he came to West Ham, but some Bonaventures. He went to some Bonaventures. I'm 100% sure. I went to school. I think he might have been a year older or a year younger than me. I can't remember. But I do remember him being there.
Slates, albeit for a short period. Yes, I agree with you, Ian. And funny you should mention Slater. I'll tell you who else was another Maverick I used to love. McAvenny.
Oh, don't know, mate. Do you know much?
Hey,
great photo, sir.
Love that photo.
Because
that was just after the Chelsea win this season.
Because I left England on a high because I came here in '87. But that '86 season was my last season of going to West Ham homes and aways and all that, you know. And that was that season of McAvenny and Cotty. My God, I went out on a high there. That was so good. So good. We should have won the league that year. Should have won.
Another great shout. Liam Brady.
What a player. Ian, what a player. What a player.
A goal and an assist when subbed on is stuff we can only dream of at West Ham. Oh, I don't know, you know, with players like Paquetá and that coming back from injury, you never know. You never know, Effie, you know. He's the sort of player that would do that. Remember when Jimmy Hill came out of the crowd to run the line? Yes, wasn't that a Fulham game? Yes, it was, because he was a director of Fulham at some point.
Yeah, I remember that, Robert. I do remember that.
Now, I said during that thing with the what do you call it? When we were talking about the QPR.
Yeah.
Rodney Mark.
I think it might have been that, Budge.
I think that I said I thought it might have been against Fulham.
Because I think he was qualified, Jimmy Hill.
Yeah, he was,
and so that's why he ended up.
He was a referee, wasn't he? He was actually a referee.
No, he must have been, Budge. Yeah, he must have had his badges for it.
I think he was a lower league referee.
But I do remember that happening.
Damien says that he must have gone to St Bonaventure's, mate.
Oh yeah, St Bonaventure's, Damien. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, Defoe came out of there.
Yeah.
Chris Houghton and his brother Henry Houghton. Yeah. I was at school with him. We had a lot of good players who went to the West Ham Academy from our school. It was a bit like a feeder school my day for West Ham. Any good players went to didn't all end up carrying on there, but I knew a few others too. I don't remember their names.
Yeah, that's a really good comment. I like that comment. Football fans will always appreciate great players no matter what club they play for.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Well said, Cookie. And I'll tell you now, Hoddle is another one that I'd put in that bracket because he was him. And the only thing I didn't like about Hoddle is the fucking Sun newspaper. You know, West Ham played a weekend, Tottenham. He'd get better headlines than Brooklyn. They used to annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think they're a little bit biased for Tottenham for some reason, the Sun. And Hoddle was a great player.
Oh God, here we go. Look.
Oh, 3 inch, mate. Oh, come on, 3 inch.
Old man says, I remember Liam Brady, he was class, and then 3 inch says, Ian Brady.
Behave yourself. He might not have been at his best when he came to West Ham, but before that, man, he was at Arsenal, he was amazing. And for Ireland.
There you go. Two sad ones for me, Payet and Dean Ashton. Yeah. Payet, sad because of the way he left and the reason he wanted to leave.
Yeah, you know, it was,
And Dean Ashton.
Yeah, for Dean Ashton, the career called short was it was sad.
Dougie Montana, Forest Gate. Yes, mate.
Forest Gate, mate. That's where I went to school. Yeah. I think there was it was an all boys school, St Bonaventure's, and about 800 kids. I think 800 lunatics running around the playground. Weren't allowed to use big balls. I'll tell you what, and I'll stand by this. In the playground, because everyone at the beginning was smashing windows with these big balls, right? You weren't allowed to use balls anymore, right? You could only use a tennis ball to play football in the playground. And even for me, the amount of how that improved my game using the tennis ball was unbelievable. And so every kid before school, at the breaks, and after school in the playground, everyone was using the tennis ball, and it did really help your game. It's amazing. Yeah. Sounds strange, but it really did.
I know this is going to sound a bit strange, but I remember one time I went back to my school, Thomas Bennett.
What, burn it down?
No. I went back there. I was invited to go back there because I had been pretty decent at judo and stuff, and they just started introducing it as an after-school option for people. You know, it was like an after-school club. And it was judo, and they asked me to come in there and just, you know, assist for a few weeks, right? So I did, and while I was there, Like there was a football academy going on. It was during the school holidays, and there was a football academy going on on the football pitches. And there was this one particular judo session. I said to him, like, he said to me, he goes, I don't need you tonight. I've got another fella here. So I went round and started watching, and there was this young lad, right, playing keepy uppy with a beach ball. That's all I can describe it as, a beach ball. You remember the soft plastic footballs that you get when you kick them.
Yeah.
They go a million miles out of the way.
Yeah.
And all that. They float. There was this young kid doing keepy uppy with that, and I just stood and watched him. He was probably about 13 at the time. I was probably about 19. Maybe he might have been about 11 or 12. But anyway, this kid was quite, advanced. I thought as a bowler, he was really good. And he was playing with this plastic ball, and he was keeping it up, and it was getting caught by the wind. But he was moving, anticipating it, and he looked really good. And the guy that was doing the coaching course was one of the teachers at the school who I happen to know. And I said to him, "That young lad over there's good, isn't he?" And he went, "Who?" And I said, "That kiddie there." He said, "Oh, what, Scott?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He's just got into an academy. I'm not sure which one." I went, "Oh, right." Well, he goes, "Yeah, it's in London." He goes, "I'm not sure which academy it is." He called him over. He goes, "Scott, come over here for a minute, mate." So he came over, and he sort of said to him, he said, "You've just got into an academy, haven't you?" And he went, "Yeah." And it was, oh God, was it Palace? Yes, it was. I think it was Palace. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Palace or Wimbledon. It might have been Wimbledon or something. I don't know. He got a trial, and he was in the youth set up there or whatever it was. But his name's Scott Mean, and he ended up at West Ham. He came to our academy, didn't he? About 15, I think it was, 16. Scott Mean. He didn't stay with us for very long. I don't know if he ever made any first team.
No, I don't think
actually. I don't think he did, but he literally lived around the corner from me.
Wow.
And hang on, let me see if I can.
It's a strange that, Budge. I always said that that's some Bonaventures, mate. It's a big thing, football there, right? And like I say, West Ham players used to come to our training sessions and help us out. Bobby Moore did. I remember Pop Robson and a few others, Frank Lampard Sr. But
yeah,
some of the best players I saw at that school never made it. Loads did, but the best players, a lot of them didn't. And it just shows you, doesn't it? The attitude of maybe the player, or whether he's got the will to make it. And I remember that his mate, he said, "Mate, I think sure it was John Chidozie. Yeah, good player, solid, but not that. He wouldn't. There's a lot of better players, around, but he made it. He just must have had the attitude and the belief to do it, And once you left school, to carry it on. But some great players that never heard of him after they left school.
So Scott James Mean, right? 13th of December 73, so he's 11 years younger than me. Place of birth, Crawley. And he played for West Ham on loan from Bournemouth in 96. Never made any appearances. And then we bought him in 96. He was with us till 93. He only made 3 appearances. And now he went to Crawley Town in 2000, and there's no data on that, so I don't know what he's doing now. But he was born in Crawley, young lad. It's nice that
it's such hard. I mean, the levels now of the Premier League is so hard to achieve. From these players, even if you are good, it's really hard.
Do you remember? God, what was his name?
Remember? See, what amazed me during this AFCON, then I said at the beginning of it, I didn't know. So I went to school with Chris Hughton and Henry Hughton, and I didn't know Chris Hughton was the manager of Ghana. I went, bloody hell, where did you get up there, mate? He's done all right. He's been fucking all right. He's done Tottenham, Newcastle.
He's just got sacked though, hasn't he?
Huh?
got
No
sacked.
doubt. They went out. I didn't know he'd got a sack, but I knew he was going to.
Yeah,
After not
he
qualifying.
got the sack, mate.
Yeah,
It's Brian Basson is who I was going to mention.
I remember that name. Remember the name, mate, but that's about.
Played for Chelsea. He
Remember
was
the name.
quite a decent player for Chelsea. If I remember rightly, Basson, I'm sure he wore the 8 shirt when he played. But anyway, he played for Chelsea. Well, he was from Crawley as well, and actually, I know him on a semi-personal basis. Me and my brother, we part of this group called Old Crawley Football Players, and he's obviously one, but he was a professional, the only one of us in the group that was, and we all go out at Christmas time and have a bite to eat and that, and
nice.
a few beers and that. Yeah, and Brian's usually there, so yeah, he's quite a decent fella. But there's only 2 West Ham fans amongst us. It's me and my brother's our best mate, Gerald East. Great, he's good. He is great hammer. Right, listen, we're going to wrap this up because we've been going for an hour and a half now. Right, sorry guys that are just joining us. Ray, probably, because the last comment is evening, Ray. Right, yes. So, there's another name to throw at you, Joey Beauchamp.
That was the £1 million flop. He never played a game. Yeah, that wasn't not one of our best signings. Put that way.
Yeah. Right, okay. Look, we're gonna knock it on the head there, guys and girls. Thanks everybody in the chat for your comments and your input. I'm sorry we didn't really get to many of the comments, but there were a lot that were talking amongst yourselves anyway, as usual. So want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Don't forget to hit the like button and share the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Finger love. Want some finger love, Mike?
Yeah, that's it. Some finger love. That's it. Don't forget, Rusty will probably be doing his lunchtime usual show tomorrow. That's not 100% guaranteed, but keep your eye out on the channel for news on the Phillips deal.
Confirmation. It'll come. It'll come tomorrow.
It's going to be confirmed tomorrow. Yeah. Also, the Ibrahim Osman, that's supposed to be moving along. And yeah, don't forget, guys and girls, to share the love, share the channel, share the everything. Just
if you can't be asked, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
See you later.
Take care, everybody. Take care.